the many hats that we wear as women. So I do want to talk about that today. And we're going to change up the scenery a little bit. So I'm outside. And I decided, since I set a goal for myself, that I want to post more frequently. So we're going to do this. So we're going to shoot for one video a day for the next 100 days. Now, it's going to be a little challenging, but hard, but I'm up for the challenge. And the only reason why I say it's going to be a little hard and challenging is because I work a full-time job. I've got 3 kids, so I'm a single mother, 3 teenagers. So got a pretty full schedule, plus, you know, in my spare time I'm creating music, you know, something that I'm really passionate about right now. So I was a little inspired to talk about the many different hats that we wear as women. And I was talking to a customer the other day, and he was telling me, well, before he could make a decision based on making a change, that he would need to speak to his wife because she's the boss. And I kind of just laughed, because in some cultures, and majority of the time, it's usually that way. The woman, or they use that as a reason, you know. So, and he mentioned, you know, that, and the reason why he said that was because of the many different roles that we play as the wife and as women. You know, as a woman, we are, sometimes we're a wife, a girlfriend, sometimes we're a mother, a grandmother, a daughter, a sister. You know, we're a best friend. We are doctors, nurses. You know, when our kids are sick, we are there, right, to nurse them back to health. So that's another role that we play, not only for our kids, but, you know, if you have a significant other, you know, your role is to also help take care of them. So, you know, and a lot of us out here, we are, you know, just trying to really just do the best that we can in life, right? None of us are actually, we're all, you know, just really just trying to figure it out. I know I'm trying to figure out this whole YouTube channel thing, and I saw something the other day that told me, just talk, just record a video and talk about something, you know. Get used to using your voice. It's really important, you know, in developing this channel. So I thought about it, and I was like, you know what? Absolutely right. There's no way that I'm going to be able to reach the goals that I have set for myself on this channel if I don't, you know, get more uncomfortable with being comfortable and making these videos, right? So we're outside today, and I'm in Texas, so it is hot and humid. It's probably around 8 o'clock right now, maybe a little bit right before 8 o'clock in the evening, and it's still like very hot and humid out here. So I'm gonna drink some water. So yesterday I went to go work out, and when I got to the gym, I was not motivated at all. I didn't want to go in there. I felt tired because I hadn't been able to sleep the night before. So I forced myself to go in and said, let me just start with a walk. I started walking, and warmed up for about 20 minutes on the treadmill. A little slow paced walk, nothing too out of line, just kind of get me going, right, to get that energy, that blood flowing. And it helped, because after that, so I'm, you know, trying to recompose, what they call it, body recomp, right? So just building more muscle tone, and you know, leaning out the body fat and building more muscle. And so I have a plan that I'm, you know, that I work on every day, a routine that I do at the gym. Try at least, I go sometimes maybe 2 to 3 times a week. It just depends how my schedule is, you know. And with kids, it doesn't always happen that way. So got there on the treadmill, worked out for a little bit, and then after that I moved over to the hip abductions. You know, we're working on building our glutes, ladies. And right now I am at 82.5 pounds. However, I do 3 sets of 20 when I'm on that machine. And yesterday I felt so much burn in my glutes. They were on fire. I was like, wow. And it's because instead of trying to just push weight, right, I am focusing on the mind to muscle connection and really making sure that I have the form down right before I start trying to increase the amount of weight that I'm, you know, throwing in the gym. So, which I feel like I'm pretty been consistent on that weight for about a month now. So I think the next time I go to the gym, we're gonna actually, you know, bring that up a little bit, go to the next, try and increase the weight, what we call, what trainers say, I think they call it progressive overload. So I'm not too familiar with that, but we're learning as we go, right? Next, you know, had a pretty good workout, did my usual routine, and I'm really glad that I didn't stay stuck on just that I wasn't feeling it. You know, I wasn't feeling motivated, and I was really tired. I wanted just to go home and then go to sleep, get in the shower and rinse the day off and get in my bed and call it a night. But, you know, I had to really use my mindset to create the discipline to make myself go in and get the workout done, because goals don't reach themselves. You know, if we don't keep pushing ourselves to do some things that are uncomfortable, we won't achieve where we're trying to get, right? So stretch feels good. Okay, so yeah, the many hats that we wear as women. So this is going to be my day 1 of 100 days. We're still going to stay focused, ladies, on, I still want to stay focused on why I started this channel, and that's becoming the woman that I admire, and, you know, reaching women who are on the same journey, maybe ahead of me, behind me. You know, I feel like maybe I can, as I'm learning, teaching how I'm getting through this journey, you're not alone, right? Because that's important. A lot of us do. Sometimes I feel alone. I know I do. Sometimes I feel alone, or I don't have support. A lot of the times. So, and one thing that I just noticed is that, and I do this a lot too at work with my customers, is that try not to use so many filler words, right? So that's another thing. Yeah, I do want to keep, you know, majority of this channel focused about, you know, becoming someone that you can admire. You know, hey, I give myself credit and kudos because even though I didn't want to go to the gym yesterday, I went, showed up, and that's what matters. Recording this video, even though I probably should probably be putting the laundry up. I'll do that after I'm done. Stretching here and multitasking. But hopefully this being consistent every day will help me create the path for myself to develop this channel into something that, you know, will maybe one day help me quit my day job, right? Because ultimately that's the goal, right? I'm just trying to survive, just trying to make it, right? We all are really just trying to make it and survive. And at the same time build something that we can be proud of for ourselves and the legacy that we leave, you know, behind. And on another note, you know, something that has been keeping me really busy is this newfound passion that I have for creating music, right? So I started using music in this journey. At first I just started it for fun, right? But then the stories that I was telling with the music and the lyrics all just started to feel like it was healing my soul really deep down, like just moving a lot of things, a lot of emotions that I was going through and feeling because of a situation that I allowed myself to be in for so many years. And that was the biggest, reason, other than my kids, why I started to, want to become someone that I admire by, maybe setting those boundaries, establishing my own set of standards on how I am going to treat myself as a woman. I know, especially being a mother, and I have 2 daughters, setting an example for them and setting an example for my son. Those are, were really important to me. But, back to the music. So if you are on my channel and if you go in, I have now, have actually officially created my official artist channel with YouTube. And I'm on Spotify as well, Apple Music. It's under Michelle Lives Embodied. I kept that all unison because the music that I'm going to be creating, or that I am creating, is all going to be music that women can relate to, because it's just significant for me, and I feel like that's, a part of me feels like that's a small purpose that I'm serving here to do that. And I can't sing, right? But I had some help being able to create this, and without this opportunity, I wouldn't be able to be sharing my heartbreak and my struggle and how I was able to rebuild and refocus and become someone that I admire. So listen to the music, let me know what you guys think, any ideas that you would want to hear. So my main genre is primarily, because I'm a Latina, is going to be some Latina pop, country, because I'm here in Texas, and also I'm from Houston, so we love rap, right? And we love hip hop and R&B. I was a 90s baby, so 80s and 90s R&B was a really big thing for me. So I really, really hope, and I am trying to reach people with my music, and I'm just having a really hard time doing that, and it's a little frustrating. But I'm going to be patient, and I'm going to keep steady and creating the songs and the music. First album is done, and that's a good thing. So thanks again, you know, for joining in and watching on my channel. If you have anybody that can share on the journey with us, share my page, subscribe, and join me back for day 2 tomorrow. Bye.